Hello everyone, Jeff Smith coming to you from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas. In this video I want to talk to you about a simple backswing concept that I call unweighting the lead foot. I'll explain to you why I think this is critical to providing stability and power in the golf swing, and it also makes driving the ball a little bit more effective. First of all, I want to call your attention to the video of the golfer here on the left hand side of the screen. This is one of my professional players who recently came to me. Very good player, very athletic, great golf swing, a lot of speed, hits the ball plenty far enough to play great golf. Just was having some trouble driving the golf ball. And if you'll look here at the bottom left hand part of the screen, you're going to see what is known as his pressure trace. I'll kind of play this through for you slowly so you can kind of see how he's moving his pressure throughout the course of the swing, and then I'll highlight a few different sort of characteristics associated with his swing. To the naked eye, nothing really stands out to you, but when you take a deeper look, kind of look under the hood here with swing catalyst, you can kind of see at address, his pressure is pretty evenly distributed, 50-50, both left and right. You can see a little bit more, the pressure is a little bit more out on the balls of his feet or toward the toes. About halfway back, lead arm parallel to the ground. This golfer's got about 66% of the pressure toward his trail foot, which is about the most that he gets through the course of his backswing. So about 69%, right here, as far as he gets to the trail side. By the time he reaches the top of his backswing, you're probably looking at about 55%. So there's not a very big, pressure shift to the right throughout the course of the backswing. He's not really unweighting that lead foot. As he approaches impact, you can see that the pressure moves, pretty quickly, toward the left side. A lot of pressure in the ball of his left foot. 78% is as far as he gets pressure to the lead side, but what's troubling here is how his pressure backs up as he approaches impact. So when he gets to impact, which this is the frame just before, here's just after, he's only getting about 67% of the pressure under his lead foot. Conversely, if we take a look at the swing on the right, and I'll play that one for you so you can just kind of see what the overall motion looks like. Aesthetically, not a lot, not very different. There's some things that will stand out to you. You can see that there's a much bigger center of pressure movement. There's also more of a fluid movement from trail side to lead side. So at address, this golfer's got about 60% of his pressure under his lead foot. By the time this golfer gets about halfway back, you can see he's moved the center of pressure further to the right, but he's also moved it more into the heel. So if I show you kind of a comparison, left and right, so sort of in the same frame here, you can see that the golfer on the left has more pressure toward the ball of their right foot. Golfer on the right, pressure is getting more into the heel. Okay, this is significant for a couple of reasons, but primarily it shows us that the player on the right has turned their hips more. Okay, so they've got a deeper hip turn. It also shows that this golfer has displaced the pelvis further away from the target or more toward the trail side. And that's kind of the point of this video. I want to talk to you about how this golfer goes about the unweighting process of the lead foot. Okay, so if we take a look at here on the left, you'll notice that as this golfer moves away, his pelvis doesn't move very far to the right. In fact, he's probably initially moving 1 to 2 inches, but then at about this point in the golf swing, he actually starts to move back toward the target. So you can see I've got these lines on the screen here where you can see the distance away from those lines as his pelvis starts to translate sort of back toward the target here. Okay, that happens very prematurely on the video on the left, thus getting the pressure. By the time he reaches the top, his pressure is not very far to the right or away from the target. This causes him to get his pressure too far forward too fast, and then the golfer has to sort of back up through the hit. Okay, so in this backing up process for this particular player, it causes him to strike the ball all over the face. So heel shots, toe shots, high, low, not a lot of predictability. Even though this person is a very good professional player, not a lot of predictability in terms of where he's hitting it or striking it in the club face. But if we go back and we kind of look at the player on the right, this is after I've given him some instruction. And I want to talk a little bit about what that instruction was. So the first thing was I described to this player how I wanted them to sort of liberate their pelvis or unrestrict pelvis movement in the course of the backswing. I started with the lead leg, okay? The left knee, left leg. I want you to watch how this golfer now internally rotates his left leg more in on the backswing, okay? So you can see that there's significantly more, internal left leg rotation at the top of the backswing. If I compare them both. So those are the tops of the backswing positions of both golf swings, and you can see there's definitively more internal rotation of the left knee. Okay, you can also look simultaneously at the pressure traces, and you can see how on the backswing, because the golfer on the left has restricted the hip turn, has restricted the left knee movement, they have their center of pressure moves in a very linear or a straight back fashion, even putting a lot of pressure into the toes or the ball of the foot in the right foot. So if you look here, the beauty about swing catalyst is when you look at the darker color on the screen, that's identifying what part of the foot the golfer is pressing into the ground with the most pressure. And one of the things that stands out to me is very much how this golfer is now on the right getting the pressure more into his heel, because he has a deeper hip turn and a little bit, bigger shoulder turn. So as this player starts, back toward the target, and if you're again looking at on the right, you can see how his pressure moves more fluidly onto his lead foot. He's really pressing into the ground hard with the ball of his left foot. And that's an indicator of a player who is really, really trying to hit a draw. The swing direction and the path are moving to the right the longer that the golfer presses into the ball of their left foot. But as he approaches impact, you can see now this golfer's got about 86% of his pressure under the ball of his lead foot or in his lead foot at impact. Okay, whereas on the left, you can see it was backing up through impact. This was the frame just before impact, and just after impact, he's at about 67%. So there's a big difference in the amount of pressure that this golfer has been able to get under his lead foot at impact. What does that do? Well, it stabilizes the swing. And what I mean by that is there's less tilting back. That's one of the reasons why he was having such a hard time hitting the ball in the center of the face. And his changes were pretty significant. We worked together over the course of about 4 hours, 2 hours over each, over 2 days. And this player didn't come to me because he needed to hit the ball further. He came to me because he wanted to be able to hit the face, with more predictability. It just turns out he went from 112 miles an hour club head speed to about 116, and he went from about 167 ball speed to 175 ball speed. So not only did he hit the center of the face more predictably, but he also was able to pick up some club head speed here. And the awesome thing about it was he felt like he wasn't even swinging any faster. I can't tell you how many times he mentioned that, and he just felt, the way things he was describing to me was he felt like he didn't have to work to square the club face. The swing felt, a lot more effortless, and the great thing about having a tool like Swing Catalyst is on video you can see minimal things occurring in the golf swing. Yeah, I could see his left knee wasn't internally rotating. I could see that his hips or pelvis was not moving away from the target, but trying to identify these things just by looking at video would have been an impossibility. And the beauty of Swing Catalyst is not only can we measure these things, but it's easy for me to show the student or demonstrate to the student what they're doing, and we're able to make rapid changes because of that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Look for more from me soon, and take care.